Kalalau Malak Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha Kudash, and double honors to the elders of GMS Ruel, blessings unto those men, and blessings and salutations to the Akim out there in truth, pushing his word in all sincerity and in honesty. With that being said, Shalom Israel, Barakatah. Today's lesson, the Carmanians have vast arrows, and they do. And with that being said, here we have another RT.com article that says Iran hits U.S. Navy ship with missile strike. Media. Tehran previously warned Washington to stay out of the Strait of Hormuz. The article continues to say, a U.S. Navy patrol boat has been hit by 2 Iranian missiles not far from the Strait of Hormuz after it ignored warnings to stay out of the critical waterway. Fars news agency has reported. It claimed that the boat was forced to retreat without providing information on the damage. The agency reported on Monday that the unidentified vessel was moving near the Iranian coastal town of Jask, some 140 kilometers from the strait's narrowest point, and was violating security and navigation rules and intending to pass through the choke point. The ship did not heed warnings from the Iranian Navy and was targeted by a missile attack, the report said, adding that the American patrol boat was unable to continue its route due to the hits and was forced to retreat and flee the area. And when it comes to Iran, they are monitoring everything in that region. Plus, the Russians are also providing them with intelligence reports on what's taking place. So what does that show you? That the Carmanians have vast arrows. Iran has been underestimated even when it comes to their vast weapons arsenal. Now, according to U.S. intelligence, as you can clearly see here, only a third of Iran's missiles have been destroyed. And one thing to remember is that Iran has been preparing for over 20 years for this upcoming war. So they have numerous stockpiles of missiles and drones. They have covered all angles when it comes to this current war with modern-day Babylon the Great, aka America. And when it comes to the small hatters, they have covered every angle. They have covered every angle possible. And when it comes to Iran, they have been underestimated because they possess an enormous arsenal. And it's at their disposal. They have very sophisticated and accurate theater ballistic missiles with a range of 1,200 miles and tactical ballistic missiles, right, those TBMs. They also possess cruise missiles, unmanned systems, and kamikaze drones. Plus, the scriptures have said that with great power shall they come. And when it comes to the Iranians, they are surely displaying that great military power in its first stages. So no longer can the little guy be bullied. Iran has become a major superpower. And that's due to DT's war that he brought upon them. Iran is a major world power. But here we have 2 Esdras 15 and 30. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come, right, and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. The modern day Assyrian is Edom, And that land of the Assyrians speaks of America. Remember that the Bible speaks in mystery and in code. The Carmanians upon the scripture speaks of the Iranian wild boars of Iran. And if you know anything about wild boars, they are strong and aggressive. And that shall also be the mentality of the Iranians in this war. The Iranians of today are the Persians, and it is prophesied that they shall come with great power. And they are certainly displaying that great military power in its first stages. Now, a quick lesson upon the Iranians of today. It all began in 1933, when the Persians asked governments around the world to make slight adjustments to the way in which they referred to their country and ruler. In 1934, they informed foreigners that from March 21st of 1935, Persia shall be officially called Iran. So the Iranians are the Persians. DT's war with Iran has turned Iran into a major world power now. Iran has been underestimated, and due to that fact, they now possess an enormous arsenal within that 20-plus year span of preparation. DT's war with Iran has turned Iran into a major world power. So no longer can the little guy be bullied. They have been preparing all this time for this coming war that you are seeing now. And you are seeing it in its first stages. Now, the Iranians do not have a big ground force, but they do have Shiite militias in Iraq and Syria. But even so, the scriptures have said that with great power shall they come. Also remember that Russia is providing an unprecedented level of military aid and technical support to Iran. So any attack on Iran will definitely draw out the Russians. We are no longer living in the time of peace, but of war. And even if they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction falleth upon them. We are no longer living in the time of peace, but of war. But also the time approaches when the allies of America shall betray them. As soon as they implement that CHIP of Revelation 13:16 through 18, that third world war cometh quickly. This current war being fought is with the fuel and burning of fire. And there's a scripture upon that. Let's go over to that scripture. Here we have that scripture of Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. That's right. The battles of ancient warriors came with much confused noise and were fought mano a mano, hand-to-hand combat. The confused noise of battle cries, along with the banging of weapons against shields, was heard in those ancient times. The rattling noise of battle formations was heard. The clanging of swords and of shields shattering was heard. The piercing of armor was heard, along with the screams of the injured and of the dying. But in this modern time period, the confused noise that many shall hear will be with much burning and fuel of fire. It will be a different war based upon those arrows of propulsion and of guidance systems. That destructive noise of the missiles upon detonation shall be heard as they strike all their strategic targets. So much death shall come due to that burning and fuel of fire, which speaks of the missiles. That is in reference to the arrows of mass destruction. These wars that you are seeing now are being fought by drones and with solid fuel missiles. No longer are these wars being fought mano a mano. It's now a different type of war. That destructive third world war that shall take place will be fought at the push of a button. And once those arrows of mass destruction are shot forth out of their perspective silos, they shall kill millions upon detonation. So yes, the destructive third world war that shall come will be with much burning and fuel of fire, and it shall come quickly after they implement the CHIP of Revelation 13:16 through 18. And those who take that CHIP of Revelation 13:16 through 18 shall come down with that grievous sore. That grievous sore of cancer that's found in Revelation 16:2. Now, when it comes to Iran, its mountainous geography, vast territory, and decentralized defense strategy make a large-scale invasion extremely complex. And when it comes to Iran, it is one of the hardest countries to invade. That's why it has been nicknamed Fortress Iran. And when it comes to this current Iranian war, they are now showing their great military power in its beginning stages. And what happened with that underestimation of Iran, that is the beginning of something far worse and greater to come. And that third world war to come shall be with those deadly arrows of mass destruction. That is what's to come. That when it comes to the Carmanians, they have a vast arsenal of arrows at their disposal. And they have been underestimated. But with that being said, Kaulallah Malak Yahweh, Wa Yahushai, Bahashem, Rahak Wadash, and double honors to the elders of Jemas Ruel, blessings unto those men, and blessings and salutations to the Akim out there in truth, pushing this word in all sincerity and in honesty. With that being said, Shalom Israel Brakta. Shalom.